Hi guys, it's Allie. I am here in Florida with my family on a little trip / vacation. We're here for about 3 weeks just visiting my lifelong best friend and her family and just kind of enjoying a break from all the things. And if you're new here, I just want to let you know that I'm so glad that you're here. I'm not sure how you found me. Maybe you were searching for something that led you to this video and you need help with this topic, and I'm so glad to have you. I help overwhelmed moms simplify their homes and their lives, their schedules, everything, so that they can live a life of intentionality that's focused on what really matters to them instead of getting wrapped up in all the mundane things like cleaning up all the time and clutter and obligations and calendar clutter and all that stuff. So I'm really glad you're here. Okay, so I wanted to take this opportunity, just being on vacation with my family, to make this quick little video and answer a question that I get all the time, and that is all this talk about rhythms and routines and these things that I talk about all the time, but do I keep them up while on vacation? So we're gonna get into that in a second, but there's a couple of things I need you to know before we dive in so that you can understand some of the foundational things about this, because this is kind of a loaded question. So first of all, routines really don't work for me. And I learned that through a lot of trial and error. I'm a pretty type B personality. I love being spontaneous. I don't like time commitment. I don't like being forced to be somewhere at a certain time or day of the week every week, or I really don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like rigidity. I love to be able to just go by my mood and see how I feel day to day, and be creative when I'm feeling creative, and do something when I feel like doing it, not because I'm supposed to or I have to. So if you relate to that, you're gonna love this. But basically what I found was that while I love being a spontaneous person and kind of flying by the seat of my pants, so to speak, it doesn't really lead to a very peaceful life. It leads to a lot of chaos. It leads to things that really need to get done not getting done, and that chaos is just not where I wanted to stay. That's really not how I want my kids to grow up remembering our life. I didn't want to just use this excuse oh, I'm just a spontaneous person, routines don't work for me, and then just let our life be a total crap show all the time. So I wanted things to just feel a little bit more peaceful. I didn't want to be stressed out and yelling at my kids because things are chaotic. But I also didn't want to be super rigid. On Wednesdays I clean the toilets and things like that. I don't stick to them. I absolutely believe that we can choose to have self-discipline, and we can choose to make things happen and show up and do things. I could make a routine like that work for me, but it doesn't bring me joy at all. So I really set out to find a way to balance my spontaneity, but also my desire to run my family really well and kind of have smooth sailing and not a ton of chaos, and paying the price for being a spontaneous person in complete overwhelm all the time, if that makes sense. And so on this little journey in myself a few years ago, I figured out a better way, and I call it developing rhythms instead of routine. So sometimes you'll find me using the word routine just because it's a word that everyone else uses, but I really don't love routines. I don't really believe they work for everybody, and I don't do them. It's actually something that I call rhythms. So the difference between a rhythm and a routine is a routine is kind of like what I talked about, Tuesdays I clean the kitchen, Wednesdays I do the bathroom, Thursday is laundry day. Have you ever met anybody who has a laundry day of the week or a couple of laundry days of the week? Or if you had one yourself, maybe that works for you. Maybe you've tried it and it just doesn't work at all. I just understand if that is you, because it does not work for me at all. I would rather do almost anything than have a dedicated day of the week where all I do is my laundry. No. Instead, I developed rhythms, and that looks kind of like this. Keeping with the laundry example, in the morning when I wake up, I have a little bit of a morning ritual for quiet time and peace that I do for myself. But then as soon as that's over, I come inside, I dump out my coffee cup, rinse it out, and or dump it out as if it's not empty. It's empty. And I go upstairs and I start a load of laundry. After I eat lunch, I switch that load of laundry. Before I go to bed, when I'm kind of getting the kids brushing their teeth and doing their bedtime routine, I finish that load of laundry, so that in a rhythm, the laundry is getting done every day. And I'm not stuck to like, this is my laundry routine and I have to do laundry on Thursday. It's just kind of in a rhythm with things that I'm already doing all the time anyway. And because my family is larger, I do kind of need to do a load every day. If I'm caught up and I don't need to do a load, I could do like the bedding or the sheets. I sometimes have to wash our curtains because my daughter has like dust allergies really bad. And those are the kinds of laundry that like never gets done, but now it does because my laundry is done in a rhythm. It makes it impossible to have laundry mountain. It's a really good feeling. Things are always caught up. We always have the clean clothes that we need. And we are minimalists, so having limited wardrobes, this works really, really well because there's never like a lack of clean clothes. And so that is kind of a picture of rhythms versus routine. So in essence, it really is still a routine, but you see what I'm saying? That it's not like those cleaning routines that you can print out on Pinterest that are like, on this day, you do this and this and this, you know, just what if things change? Like, what if I want to do something else? But with a rhythm, it's like, I always wake up, I always go to bed. So attaching the core must-do things to things that are gonna happen anyway, no matter how spontaneous I am in the middle of the day, works a lot better for me. And that's kind of like what my course Unburdened is all about, is like taking your life and your schedule and all your obligations and all your things that you need to get done day to day, week to week. It just like simplifies it and streamlines it. How can we set up some rhythms that will get these things done for you without you having to think about it, without you having to feel like you're tied to this rigid routine? And we kind of just do that over your entire life. So that's a little bit of my background with routines. And so because I talk about this so much, people see these, you know, all this talk about rhythms and routines, and they want to know, like, because I do travel a lot and we're really big on adventures and family trips. It's one of our core values for Brian and I as a couple to just adventure with our kids a lot. And so they wonder, do you keep up on your routines and all your rhythms and stuff when you're traveling? And so in short answer, yes, I do with some of them. And I think the biggest thing that needs to be factored in when we're talking about keeping up on rhythms while you're traveling or on vacation is, what is the intent that you have set for this trip? So what I mean by that is, before we take a vacation or we take a trip, Brian and I will kind of just have a quick conversation. It's not like we sit down with a journal and coffee and like talk about what do we want? Just like a quick conversation, even sometimes like the day before we pack, just like, hey, what do you want for this vacation? Like, what's the goal? Sometimes it's a working vacation because we own our own business and it's all online, so we can work from anywhere. Sometimes it's a working trip and we just need a change of pace and we're gonna take the kids on this work trip. Maybe I'm speaking somewhere and I'm bringing my laptop and I also wanna make sure that I get, you know, these 5 important tasks done while we're there. But we just need a change of scenery. The kids are also homeschooled, so they could use a change of scenery a lot of the time. We're just taking them along, but it's a very like work-centric trip. Sometimes the intent is to completely unplug. So that would mean we don't bring, you know, the kids' iPad, we don't bring the Nintendo Switch, we don't bring any technology, I don't bring my laptop. We have our phones as a necessity, but they're kind of like turned off unless we really need them. And we're just unwinding, unplugging. And that is the intent we set for that vacation, that trip. So you see the difference. You can have, maybe the intent is just to reconnect as a family and have fun. Maybe it's just to completely veg out. You've been feeling just really burned out and worn down and like the same days, like just kind of worn you down, and you just need to break that pattern. That's kind of where we're at for this trip. It was a mix of that and then just wanting to be near our dear friends. And so just with the ticket prices and the way things worked out and our availability this month, we just ended up taking 3 weeks in Florida. So I've got my laptop in case inspiration strikes, which it did, and that's why I'm making this video. But you know, we brought the kids technology. We're just vegging out. We've been going to the beach, sleeping in, staying up late. Also, our time zones are thrown off, so that's another reason. Letting the kids play video games more than usual because it just lines up with our intent to just veg out and just chill and hang out. So see how there's different intents there. So the things that you keep up will kind of depend on the intent that you set for your vacation. So I think it's super important to start there by setting an intent for your trip. What is it that you want to get out of it? What is your soul really craving right now? What does your family really need right now? And that would be the intent that you set for this trip. Okay, so having said that, the rhythms that I keep in place while on vacation are the ones that bring me peace and joy, and my family peace and joy too. So what I mean by that is vacations are meant to give you a break, right? It's meant to kind of break up the norm and give you, I don't know, refresh you in some way, right? Pretty much every vacation is meant to do that, and pretty much every trip is usually meant to do that in some way. Or you're gonna accomplish something. If you're like going to speak somewhere, or you're just going to, you know, see a site or see a person, or, you know, eat at a specific restaurant, whatever. In some way, you're trying to accomplish something, and or rest in some way. And so basically, every trip and every vacation is a break from the norm. And so in doing that, you naturally kind of get to this place where you like don't want to do any of the normal things that you do at home. And then you fall into that where you're like not doing anything. You're like staying at an Airbnb and just kind of letting everything slide, but then like everything's chaos and it's not very restful to like know that you forgot to like have your kids go through their bedtime routine and they didn't brush their teeth for 2 nights, or like the kitchen's a total disaster and you can't even make breakfast in the morning when you were really feeling inspired to make pancakes tomorrow for your kids, or you're living in mess, or you guys don't even have any clean underwear for tomorrow because you're staying somewhere for 2 weeks and you only packed 5 days worth of clothes because you were supposed to do laundry and you didn't because you fell out of all your rhythms and routines. So you see, like, there's certain rhythms that bring life, bring peace, make things easier. They bring joy. They make things run smoothly. And I choose to not have the mindset that running things like that for my family is this like total burden. And it's just like so hard, and like no one ever helps me with anything, and I have to do my routines on my vacation. And like I choose to not go that way. I choose instead to see things like a load of laundry and rinsing dishes as like a joy and a help, and something that helps set the stage for a really great family trip. And also, I put my kids to work. Like, they need to help. So my kids help with the dishes, and I do keep up some of my rhythms when I'm on vacation. So some things that we choose to let go of on vacation, again, depending on what the intent is for that vacation, but we usually choose to let go of tech time limits. Normally at home in our day-to-day lives, because we are at home all the time, we run our business there, we homeschool our kids there, it could get really easy for tech time limits to like slide, and for the kids to end up like playing video games and, you know, being on the iPad together for way too long just because we're always there, and it's like kind of easy to keep them quiet when we're trying to accomplish something. So we have really, really strict tech limits at home normally. On vacation, if the intent doesn't have anything to do with unplugging and we're just chilling, we really let go of a lot of the tech limits. I still have some in place because I don't want to deal with lousy attitudes all day, right? Because you know how kids get like that. But I'm not super strict. I just kind of go by how it feels and just let it slide and let the kids hang out, let them have a game day. We'll, you know, me and Brian will sit out on the porch together with coffee extra long in the morning and let the kids play video games after they have breakfast, like whatever. We'll let that slide. Another thing that we let slide when we're on vacation is our eating habits. Normally we eat like pretty clean. I kind of have to for health reasons, but we usually eat like really like paleo, super clean, lots and lots of cooking. We've got like a meal prep schedule and all these things that we follow. And on vacation, we really just let that go. I eat as clean as I can when we're out. I do cook a little. That's why we prefer to stay in Airbnbs versus hotels, which is where I'm at right now, our Airbnb. But I cook like as we go, as needed. I let go of my meal prep schedule. I let go of my, like you know, I do kind of have to be rigid with my eating, and I kind of just let go of that and just eat as clean and healthy as I can, and just take a breath, take a break, because I don't enjoy cooking at all and I have to do a lot of it. So we really just kind of let that go, cook a little, eat out a lot, and just let go of that rigidity and take a break from that, because it's really not life-giving and it's not peaceful. It doesn't bring a lot of joy, and I know that I can remain in, you know, a healthy stomach and a healthy self if I just make good choices when we're out as much as I can. It'll be fine, but I just need a break from that, so I let that go. Another thing that we let go of on vacation is just our general daily schedule. You know, normally it is pretty spontaneous and we'll change things and it's flexible, but we do have to get the kids' homeschool done. I do have to get some work tasks done most days, and we just let go of that. We just totally veg out. We love to unwind and like just not know what we're doing until the day's already started, and just asking that question of like, what do you want to do today? Like today, after I made this video, we're going down to Clearwater Beach, and we're gonna have a great beach day, and we didn't know know that we were gonna do that yesterday. And yesterday we went and we walked around this amazing outside mall, and we just went in the shops and ate good food and got coffee and got the kids smoothies, and it was great. And we just spur of the moment decided to do that, and it was a great day. So because we are naturally spontaneous, but our day-to-day life at home is kind of like has to be a certain way, we let go of all that and relax, and that brings us a lot of joy to let go of that and to just be truly spontaneous people while on vacation. Is that making sense? Do you see the things that are bringing joy and are worth letting go of? And then the things that I don't let go of because it just wouldn't bring me joy, it wouldn't help, it wouldn't bring peace, it would just make things so chaotic that it's not worth it. Things that I keep up. My exercise and movement routine. My husband is way better at this than I am. Brian really loves working out. He really loves CrossFit. You do you, babe. It's not for me. And he will like find a CrossFit gym and go to classes when we're traveling. So he keeps that up really well. I don't do that. I just make sure that I move my body every day. If it's just like a yoga video on YouTube or a Pilates workout or a walk around the block, maybe I'll go for like a jog or something. I really don't love running, so it's usually not that, but if I just want to get some movement in quickly, I will. Maybe I will like find a workout class nearby or a yoga studio or something and do that. But in some form, I'm moving my body intentionally every single day still, even when I'm on vacation, just because I don't feel good when I don't. I feel really lethargic. I don't have energy. I'm cranky. I feel really stiff and tight. Like when I wake up, I just don't feel right. And so for me to like have the energy that I need to be present for my kids and my family and like have a good time, feel good, I know that I need to do that. So letting go of that is not worth my peace and my joy. Another thing that I keep up on vacation is my morning ritual. If you listen to my podcast, which is called The Purpose Show, if you're looking for it, I have talked really openly about what my morning ritual looks like and how it just is so life-giving for me. It really sets my day in the right tone. It's not perfect. Some days while traveling, I do give it up, sometimes by force because I have to like catch a flight or something. Sometimes just because I was lazy and I slept in. But for the most part, I won't give it up. And I never give it up completely while on vacation because it does just bring me so much joy. It brings me so much life. You can Google The Purpose Show episode 3 if you want to hear more about what my morning ritual looks like and how that works. But it's just a time that I have in the morning where I just start the day off right. I focus on my mindset and I take in like positive reading or a podcast, and I have my prayer time, I meditate, I move a little bit. That's where I kind of get my exercise in, and it's just so important for me that I have that time. I'm a much better wife and mom and person and friend and just member of society if I have that morning time. So I don't let that go. Even though it's tempting sometimes, I really try to keep that up when I'm on vacation, and it's always worth it. Another thing that I keep up while we're on vacation is our laundry, or daily like laundry checkup. So what I mean by that is every day at some point, maybe it's not as like rhythmic as like I wake up, I check the laundry, I go to bed, I finish the laundry. Maybe it's not like that, but every day I am like going around collecting the dirty clothes, collecting the kids' suits, rinsing them out, hanging them up, putting in a small load in the washer. Maybe I don't start the load yet because it's too small, but the dirty clothes are in the washing machine, and the next day when I do that again, maybe then it'll be big enough to do a small load. So I am keeping up on the laundry. I'm not letting go completely and getting into that mom mode of like, I'm just done, I don't want to do anything, like I don't want to do any of the things I normally have to do. This is my vacation, I need a break, like dang it, I need a break and I'm gonna take it, because that's a negative mindset to be in about my amazing role as a woman and as the mom. I'm the one that does our laundry, and I don't want to choose to see it like a super negative thing. So I just make it simple, and I just every day just do a little sweep through and take care of it. And I'm always watching that, because it's not worth it to let it go completely, because then what if we want to go to dinner tomorrow and we don't have any clean underwear? It's just not worth it. If I'm staying at a hotel, like this is a totally different story, but usually we stay in Airbnbs because of our family size and the lengths of our trips, and because we like to have the freedom to cook and do the laundry. And then the other thing that I will say we pretty much never let go of while we're on vacation is our nightly pickup. So at home we have this family rhythm where every night after we eat dinner, my older kids are 9 and 10. and they're really like in charge of doing the dishes. We do like the big pots and pans and stuff and like clean the kitchen, but they like rinse and, you know, load all the dinner dishes. And so they'll do that, and then after that we all come together and it's family pickup. So everyone has a zone of the house that they're in charge of, and they all pick up their zones and get like the pillows put back, fold up the throw blankets that have been snuggled with during the day. We clean the kitchen, they clean up their rooms, they wipe down the bathroom sink after they shower and brush their teeth. So it's like this nightly family pickup is kind of like a part of our bedtime routine, and that works really, really well for us. And when we're on vacation, while it's not as detailed and, you know, extravagant, we still do that same thing. So Brian and I will just kind of announce like, hey guys, family pickup time, and everyone will just kind of like, they don't really have zones and like know exactly what to do, but we'll just say like, Bella, would you just go through and get all the trash in the trash can, any trash that's out on the counters, or go check the rooms for like cups and trash and just bring it all out here. You know, Leland, will you just like wrap up the cords from the gaming? Would you like get any toys that you guys are playing with today and put them in the suitcase? We always have like a kid's suitcase that they are allowed to bring some favorite toys to play with when we take like extended vacations like this one. And so like that suitcase kind of stays open in the kids' room or one of the kids' rooms as kind of like it serves as kind of like a toy bin while we're here. So we'll say like, you know, could you pick up all the toys and go put it in the toy bin or toy suitcase? Like I'll go and pick up like my stuff and put like my makeup away and just kind of clean up a little bit, just like 10 minutes. Super easy. And we do that every day so that we can go to bed and like hang out and watch a movie or something in a clean house and wake up to a fresh start, or if we can make breakfast or whatever it is for the next day. I think the point of all this is that it's not perfect and it's not rigid, because that's the whole point. I don't like routines because they're so rigid and they leave no room for like living life and being spontaneous and what if you feel different that day. But they're rhythmic. Every night we go to bed here. Every morning we wake up here. Usually at some point in the middle of the day, we come home from whatever fun thing we were doing and we just like veg out a little bit. So I attach rhythms like checking in the laundry, picking up the house real quick, rinsing or having the kids rinse the dishes really quick. I attach those tasks that keep things feeling really good and positive and not chaotic. I attach those tasks to the things that we're always gonna do. Of course, I don't wanna come on vacation and be like, oh, it's Thursday at 11, so I better clean the toilets. Like I just will wipe down the bathroom after I use it. I will like, you know, kind of take the head off the Airbnb shower and just rinse off the shower real quick while I'm in there. You know, I'll use the restroom and just wipe down the toilet, wipe down the sink, wash my hands. Like, I just kind of keep things going in a rhythm instead of having a strict routine and then saying, yes, stick to your routines on vacation because it's not worth it. But rather rhythms are so much more freeing. If you really are liking the idea of this rhythms thing, I just want you to know like this is one of the main things that I do. I love talking about this. I would love to help you just lighten your load in this area. If you want to go to alliecasazza.com/getrhythms, there's a free download there. I've had it for a couple of years and it's a fan favorite. People just freak out about it. They love it. It's super helpful. And it will kind of just explain rhythms to you a little bit and then also prompt you for getting started with your own rhythms, like helping you figure out what would help you if it was just already done in the morning. What about the evening? Like how do you go about beginning to set yourself up with your own rhythms instead of rigid routines? And then also my course, Unburdened, depending on the time of year, it's an open close kind of situation, but if you happen to catch me at the right time and Unburdened is open for enrollment, I would love to see you in there. It's a really, really deep dive program. It's short and to the point, but it goes much deeper and you will leave with all your rhythms in place, totally set up. Your load will be much lighter, you'll be a much happier person, and you'll just feel that difference in your life. Like, it just makes so much sense and it's so freeing and life-giving and helpful, and you'll be able to like have more time and mental space to focus on what really matters to you. So go get your freebie to start, alliecasazza.com/getrhythms, and I'm happy to help you in that way, and I hope to see you over there.